Monday morning, you just remembered that you have another business trip coming up. After a few trips, the excitement is something you just don't feel anymore, and in its place, a dread of the stress to come makes you feel queasy. It's time. You make your way to the airport at least 2 hours before your flight with your suitcase and something to do on the plane. After checking in, time to wait. If you're lucky, the plane will leave on time and won't get delayed. On the mere chance that you are taking a trip to a far-off corner of the world, you know you have several hours ahead of you, but you are prepared, or at least you think you are. You spend hours sitting in your comfortable chair, trying to forget that there are so many more hours ahead of you, and your options are limited to going to the bathroom, watching a movie, or reading a book. Finally, after a while, it's time to land, and your ears start hurting. You've arrived. Now your body must adapt to the different climate and time zone. This is only the beginning of your trip. After you get to your hotel, you unpack and get down to work, or if you arrive late at night, you try to get to sleep. It's hard to have a good night's rest in a bed that isn't your own at a time you aren't used to. Finally, you fall asleep and wake up the next day to start your work. In the middle of the day, all of a sudden you start getting worried about what it was that you ate that morning or the night before, since your stomach is hurting. You ignore it, maybe take something, and work to get the job you went there to do. After a few days at work, your body has decided to accept the climate change, time difference, and food difference, and has begun to adjust. Unfortunately, now it's time to go back home. Your body must go through everything one more time. You could say it isn't that bad. You could say that once you get used to doing it, it's okay. But is it really? Even if you're traveling in style, your body is put under severe stress, facing delays, lost luggage, overbooked flights, and tedious security procedures. The wary business travelers plod on. One of the most recently discovered dangers travelers face has to do with blood circulation. You run the risk of getting blood clots in your veins for the excessive number of hours you spend on the plane. Your body's schedule also changes, so you might skip a meal here and there, or might end up making up for it with fast food. Without a good night's rest, you become cranky, less tolerant, and prone to headaches. Still think that business travel isn't a big deal? How many times in the last year have you gotten sick? How many times a week do you exercise? Have you put on weight recently? As you can see, traveling, especially long distances, shouldn't be taken lightly. However, business travel is part of your job, and you just can't stop doing it. So, what can you do to reduce the negative impacts involved with traveling? First of all, you should be aware of how important taking care of yourself is during travel. There are also a few quick tips you can follow to make your trip less stressful. The air in airplanes is dry, so drink non-alcoholic decaffeinated beverages and water to avoid becoming dehydrated. What can you do about jet lag? Get plenty of sleep before you leave. Don't drink a lot of alcohol. Eat well-balanced meals. Avoid overeating. Exercise as much as you can on the trip. Use sleep medicine for only a few days and only if absolutely necessary. Get used to a time zone by following the eating and sleeping habits of the local zone. Following these tips will help strengthen your immune system. You can also take a vitamin supplement to fight off the local germs for which you don't have antibodies. What else can you do? Even healthy people can get blood clots in their legs after long flights. Try to walk every now and then during your flight. It also helps to stretch your calf muscles while you're sitting and wear support stockings. Traveling can affect other parts of your life, not only your physical health. When you leave on a trip, you get ready and go, leaving behind your family and friends. This can have a severe effect on your social and family life as well. Let's go back to our traveling story. So you go on your business trip and come back with the fatigue, bad eating, and work stress that come with it. While you're gone, your partner is alone, and if you travel often, he or she might feel neglected and lonely. What's worse, when you do return home, because of the fatigue, the only thing you want to do is rest. And sometimes, even that must be postponed because you have to get back to work on the following day. Even if you're single, your social life and life at home are affected. After traveling, you come home to pay the bills, take care of the lawn, and catch up on all the work you didn't do during the days you were away. So what can you do to improve your traveling life as a whole? Usually, people's excuse for not going somewhere or doing something has to do with not having time. This, however, is not true. We all have a choice as to how we set our priorities. So one of the key things we need to do is to become more organized to get things done when they are needed. You could keep a calendar, a schedule for your days at home, or just a regular plan to get you back into your life at home. Whether you're flying the skies, going to a meeting, checking into a hotel, or coming home, the important thing is to reduce your stress levels by establishing healthy eating and sleeping habits, exercising regularly, and maintaining relationships with friends and family. You are a business traveler, and as such, it is your main business to take care of yourself.